Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Continuing on the marathon, it seems, of exclusive figures and vehicles that I've given you a look at in recent weeks. We are going to take a look at another one today. This time around it's from the Clone Wars, and it's the seemingly popular Clone Commander Blackout, or the Stealth Operations Clone Trooper. Now, you may remember a while back I did indeed do a review on the Stealth Ops clone that was released in one of the newest Clone Wars basic figure waves, but there are a numerous amount of details and differences between these two figures, and I'll elaborate on those more later in the review. I don't actually have the other Stealth Ops clone with me to compare, but hopefully if you've seen the review you'll already be familiar with some of the differences anyway. So before we get on to this really cool figure, we are indeed going to take a look at the packaging that he comes in, and I'd like to give a big thanks once again to the guys over at Action Figure Times who were kind enough to send me out a US sample of Clone Commander Blackout. Here he is, and as you can see I've decided to keep this one in its packaging. Now the main differences between the US Toys R Us exclusive and the UK Toys R Us exclusive is not only do you have the foil sticker on the front of the bubble, but on the back you have a very basic layout. Now on the UK version, or the European version, you've got all the different languages, you've only got a very small image of the figure, and the back of the packaging just looks very, very messy, whereas obviously it's quite neat and organised on this one. If we come back around the front of the packaging, you will indeed see the image of Clone Commander Blackout on the top, with that very cool helmet design. You've also got the battle game card and display stand included in the box. I'll give you a look at those now, as once again I've forgotten to pick those up to review them. And obviously you've got the figure in the plastic bubble on the front, and of course the name tag just there. Now this one does indeed come with a Clone Wars Adventures code, but considering that everything is still wrapped up in the packaging, I can't actually share that with you. And on the back you've got a still image from the Clone Wars episode Cat and Mouse. You've also got an image of the figure and the description just below. It's a very nice looking figure in his packaging. Definitely one that I was really happy about adding to my carded collection. And the figure that's inside is equally as cool. Now, once again, as I said, there are a few differences between this and the basic Stealth Operations Clone Trooper figure that was released. The main difference, obviously, is that Blackout has a very unique and very individualised helmet marking down the rim, or the brow of the helmet. Now this design runs all the way over the top of the helmet, right down to the back, and it's almost like an electrical ball or electrical current, which I think would have been much more apt for Clone Trooper Spark, who was another Clone Trooper who served alongside Blackout in the episode Cat and Mouse. But a very cool helmet design nonetheless. Definitely one that I really, really like. You've also got those very cool looking earmuffs once again that can indeed be removed, or the sonic blast protectors I suppose you could call them. But once again the figure does indeed look very, very strange without them on, and they can just be simply reattached like so. The overall colour of the figure is slightly lighter than the basic carded Stealth Ops clone, and obviously you don't have all the added chest pieces and backpacks that the basic one has. Although in terms of literally being basic, I'd say that this one was much more in that department. You've also got, of course, the Republic emblems on either shoulder pad. And in terms of weaponry, he just comes with a DC-15S carbine pistol. Now he is based on the Commander Stone body sculpt, so he has very limited articulation, but that's not to say that the figure doesn't look awesome nonetheless. He does have a ball jointed neck, although no removable helmet, unfortunately. Ball hinge shoulders and elbows, swivel wrist, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball hinge knees, and no articulation in the ankles. Nearly said ball hinge there, but yep, no articulation whatsoever in the ankles. Very cool figure there, definitely one that I would recommend picking up for your Clone Army collection. And if you have picked up the basic carded Stealth Ops clone with the backpack and the chest piece, then this guy's going to look great as their commander. So I would highly recommend picking this figure up if you can find him. There's no shortage of him yet, that's for sure. I went into my local Toys R Us a couple of days ago, and this guy was basically bursting from the pegs. So here in the UK and over in the US, you can get your fair share of Clone Commander Blackout. And as I said, definitely a figure that I would recommend picking up. So there we go, that's Clone Commander Blackout from the Clone Wars line, and once again, a Toys R Us exclusive. So there we go, I hope you enjoyed having a look at this figure. And I'll be back with more reviews on figures like this, plus some golden oldies and some vehicles and much more still to come. So thanks for watching, and as always, keep collecting and may the Force be with you.